Courtney Johnston here from RuleBreakersClub.com with copywriting and sales advice for Rebels with a Cause. What should you put as your call to action? So if you're not familiar with what a call to action is, the call to action, or CTA as it is admirably referred to, is the language that's on the button of your page. So it's basically the thing that you want someone to do on each page of your website. Specifically, I'm going to refer to calls to action on sales pages or work with me pages when you're asking someone to work with you. But a call to action can also be on a landing page, an opt-in page, an email, anywhere. Every single thing that you create for your business online should have one specific purpose. If you're creating a piece of content, an email, a blog post, a sales page, a work with me page, an about page, you should have in your mind what you want that person to do when they're done reading that. What's the next thing for them to do? Don't leave them hanging at the bottom of the page. So in this video, I'm going to give you kind of 3 basic steps I want you to follow to come up with some great calls to action. Let's get started. Number 1 is exactly what I was just talking about. You need to define the purpose of the piece of copy that you're creating. So before you start thinking, how should the wording be as the call to action? I want to know, well, what is the action? What do you want people to do? What's the goal that you have for them? On a sales page, this might be to buy now. It might be to fill out an application, a questionnaire. It could be to enroll, or to, on a non-sales page, it could be to opt in, register. What is the thing that the person is doing? What's the purpose of the page? Then step 2 is to write the call to action. So when you write the call to action, I think you just need to be really clear. What is the action someone is taking? Now, I have 2 rules of thumb when it comes to writing the call to action, and they are as follows. Rule of thumb number 1 is that your call to action should always be focused on what the reader is getting, not what they are giving. So I don't like calls to action that say buy now, or like basically saying spend all of your money right now. I don't like that. That's not a good thing to be reminding people of. What you want to remind them of is what they're getting, not what they're giving. So something like get my copy would be better than like submit your information, which who wants to do that? That's so boring and lame, right? The second rule of thumb that I have for your calls to action is that they should usually be in the first person. They don't always have to be, but normally that's what works out the best. So instead of saying enroll yourself now, you would say like, I'm ready to enroll, rather than instead of you're ready to enroll. I had a better one on here. Let me read what that one was. It would be better to say save my spot instead of save your spot on a call to action. So we're just putting it in the first person instead of the second person. A little grammar rule there for you. Now, my third step for you to come up with an amazing call to action for whatever it is that you're working on right now is to download this week's action sheet, where I'm giving you 10 of my favorite basic calls to action that you can use in your copy. I hope you love this week's video. If so, make sure to share it on Twitter with one of our click to tweets below, and I will see you next week.